Greetings. Welcome to Cop to Corporate. I'm Brian Tusky, your host, and today I want to talk about job hunting. I've been getting tons of email requests and pings on social media for advice on types of jobs that are available and people wondering if there are any opportunities. And it's really up to you. It's really up to you to do your homework and go find the job that is right for you when it's time to leave law enforcement, whether you're retiring or mid-career, like I was mid-career when I left. I had almost 13 years on the force. Or if you just spent a couple of years and figured law enforcement's not for you, and now you want to go into the private sector. I highly recommend you look at my last video on LEOs. Are you ready to pull the plug? Because I have a lot of information and insights to help you make a sound decision. From a job hunting perspective, knowing that you're ready, having the right resume, doing things to bring the jobs to you, FOs, I'll explain more what that means, and then what to do when you get a job offer. So first things first, are you ready to leave? Have you gone over the pros and cons? Medical benefits, all types of benefits, financial, are you ready? And you better be 100% certain you're ready to leave and committed. You can't be half-baked. You have to be 100% committed. Looking ahead, not through the rear view mirror. You look out the windshield and be ready to make that move. You have to be committed. Resumes. When was the last time you ever worked on your resume? Most people have not. The only time they worked on a resume was they got into the police force or federal agencies, whatever law enforcement agencies you're at. Or if they had a resume, it was more of a training records and for a panel for some sort of special unit in law enforcement. But a regular resume, most cops or LEOs do not know how to put together a resume. So what's the right resume? Length. No one wants to know you have 500 pages of training. 2 pages max, all right? If they need specialized training because you're going to do something that requires that specialty, you can spend some time on it, but no one needs to know how many times you shot, an MP5 or a shotgun or whatever. That's not necessary. Cover letters. A lot of people ask, do I need a cover letter? Well, it really depends. If that can give you an edge, and I'm not going to debate whether it's good or bad. It just depends. Every company is different. But the one thing I know for certain, whatever you're applying for, your resume better be aligned to the job that you're applying for. So the job description and your resume needs to be aligned, because most companies use automated software to scrub through the thousands of resumes that come through, and they're looking for keywords to match the right job with the right talent. So be very careful not to just use one resume for tons of jobs. There are resume services out there. They're coaching. It's really up to you to use them. You can go online for free. Go on YouTube, social media. There are just tons of free advice out there. But you could hire certain individuals and coaches to help you. Once you get that resume together, bring the jobs to you, right? So hopefully you didn't just rage quit, left the force, and are looking for a job. You want to build a network, right? Build a network. There's tons of social media networks, professional networks you should join. There are industry associations for whatever industry that you want to get in. Most law enforcement get into the security industry, whether it's physical security or cybersecurity. There are tons of industry associations. So look at those associations. And don't be afraid to build a relationship with somebody in the industry and do a corporate ride-along. For those of you that were cops and were driving a patrol car and you had a ride-along, and you know how excited, either it's a student or someone that was interested in law enforcement, they go on a ride-along just to see if it's for them. Same in the corporate environment. I mean, obviously, you're not going to go into a highly confidential corporate environment, but some people could bring you over for lunch. They can walk you through what they do, and you can get a feel for what the culture is and for the industry that you want to be in, just to test it out. Be aware of the FO. So what the FO is friends of, okay? So anyone out there that works in the industry today, know a friends of, and it works in law enforcement too, where people move over to the private sector and they bring all of their buddies and connections and cronies, as some would say, from their department into their organization that they're at. Now, I've done some of that. I've brought people from my former agency, but they were qualified, okay? A lot of times the friends of, they're not qualified. They just come in, they're coming along for the ride, and it's going to be an absolute disaster because they have to be competent for the job that they're doing. And let me tell you, the private sector is completely different than the public sector. Same type of skill set, but different lines of business. So beware of the friends of. Now you get to the job offer, right? Say you go to all this work, you get an offer or multiple offers. You have to really look at the terms, understand what the job is. Are you a contractor versus a FTE? FTE is a full-time employee. There's a lot of companies out there that hire contractors. Nothing against taking a contractor role. In fact, coming in as a contractor is a good foot in the door that usually leads to an FTE role. So never discount contracting roles, but know what you are signing up for. And when I say know what you're signing up for, read all of the fine print, what you're signing up for. A lot of companies out there are at will, right? Meaning they can remove a position at will. You can leave at will. And that scares a lot of cops because cops and law enforcement, they really like that job security. They're always looking for that job security. However, in the private sector, there is job security. If you do your job, you do it well, and you add value, you will always be employed. And the last thing, please stick around. I see this happen all the time where law enforcement leaves, they take the first job that come on their lap, and then after a month, they get disenfranchised because they see other offers and they're like, hey, I need to try this out. Now, the problem with jumping jobs, it just absolutely ruins your resume. When I look at resumes, I want to see how sticky somebody is. How long did they stay in their job? And I know a lot of my younger friends out there, my kids will say, okay, boomer, you know, it doesn't work that way. Well, I tell you, in the security industry, specifically the security, physical security industry, it takes you at least a couple of years to understand everything about your line of business. So if someone's moving every 6 months or a year, it's really impactful to the business, especially if you're a supervisor or a manager. Now, let me caveat that because you could be a contractor and contractors run 6 months, a year, 3 months here. So that's fine. But if you coming in at a full-time employee, you better stick around. So if you like what you heard, feel free to go to cop2corporate.com. I have tons of free information and links and insights and videos to help you out. And if you want, just ping me on social media if you have a topic you want me to cover and talk about. Until then,